Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's dive right into this. Did you know millions of families in Texas are now eligible for absolutely free school meals? It's true. Today, we're demystifying the entire Texas school meal application process. Look, I get it. Administrative paperwork can be a total headache, but securing consistent, nutritious meals for your kids, that is absolutely worth it. We're going to break this all down step by step, so even if you're a total beginner, you'll know exactly what to do by the end of this.
Here is our game plan for today. We'll cover why you should apply, how to understand your family's eligibility, a step-by-step application guide, overcoming common hurdles, verification and next steps, and finally, where to find additional help. Consider this your complete action guide. All right, part 1, why apply for meals? Let's talk about the real impact here and a huge new benefit for Texas families.
Feeding a family is getting expensive, right? Dealing with the rising cost of living is stressful enough without agonizing over school lunches. But there are incredibly powerful solutions available right now. To really understand the urgency, think about this startling statistic. In Texas, more than 1 in 5 children struggle with hunger. That is a massive number of kids who might not have consistent access to the nutrition they need for an active, healthy life. And you know, when kids don't eat well, it impacts everything: their academic achievement, their health, their whole well-being. This program isn't just about food. It's literally as critical to learning as teachers and textbooks.
And hey, if you're wondering if you are alone in needing this help, you absolutely are not. Just look at the massive scale of families relying on this program across the country. Nationally, 63% of K-12 public school students, that's over 31 million children, are enrolled to receive free or reduced price meals. Applying for this program is completely normal, there is zero stigma, and it's a resource specifically built to be used by families just like yours. Now here is an incredible update for Texas families. The 89th Texas legislature recently stepped up and allocated $19.8 million to totally eliminate copays for school meals. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, it means that if your household qualifies for what used to be the reduced price category, your kids are going to eat breakfast and lunch for completely free during the 2025-2026 and 2026-2027 school years. No more scraping together those daily 30 or 40 cent copays. That is a massive financial relief. Moving on to part 2, understanding your family's eligibility. Let's break down exactly who qualifies and how it all works. So how do you know if you make the cut? Eligibility is primarily based on 2 things: your total household size and your gross household income. Let's make this concrete. Based on the federal income guidelines for the 2026-2027 school year, let's look at a family of 4. If your total household income, and we're talking before taxes and deductions here, is $61,050 or less, your children qualify for the program. And remember that amazing legislative update we just talked about. Qualifying for this tier means those meals are entirely free. But wait, income isn't the only way to qualify. There's also something called categorical or automatic eligibility. Basically, if anyone in your household already participates in programs like SNAP, TANF, or FDPIR, all the kids in that household automatically qualify for free meals, period. On top of that, if a child is a foster child or recognized as homeless, migrant, runaway, or if they're enrolled in Head Start, they also automatically qualify.
All right, part 3, the step-by-step application guide. Let's navigate this process together.
To take the guesswork out of the paperwork, you really just need to know which path you are on. First, there's direct certification. If you receive SNAP or Medicaid, a system called Texas ELMs automatically matches your data behind the scenes. No action needed on your end. Your school will just send you a letter saying you're approved. Also, a quick note, some high-poverty schools use something called the community eligibility provision, where every single student eats for free without any applications at all. But if you don't fall into those automatic categories, you will use the traditional application. That's an income-based, self-reporting form, and the good news? You only need to submit one of these per household.
So here is exactly how to knock out that traditional application in 4 easy steps. Step 1, get the form. You can use secure online portals. A lot of districts use a system like School Cafe, or you can just grab a paper form from the front office or the district's child nutrition department. Step 2, list all household members. Now, listen closely because this is a super common mistake. You have to include everyone living with you. Infants, grandparents, non-relatives, even if they aren't in school, they go on the list. Step 3, add the gross income and how often it's received for everyone you just listed. And step 4, sign it and submit it to the school. To make this totally seamless, I highly recommend gathering a few specific details before you sit down to apply. You're going to need the names of everyone in the house, you'll need the exact amount, source, and frequency of your current gross income. And remember, gross income is what you make before taxes or insurance are taken out. You'll also need an adult household member to sign it, basically promising the info is true. And finally, you'll need the last 4 digits of the signing adult's social security number, which actually leads us to a very important point.
Part 4. Overcoming common application hurdles. Here are a few insider tips for a smooth process. Administrative paperwork can definitely cause some anxiety, especially when it comes to one major question that pops up all the time. What if the adult filling this out does not have a social security number?
The answer is incredibly simple, and I really want to reassure you here. Just check the box that says no SSN. That's it. Your U.S. citizenship or immigration status does not affect your eligibility for free or reduced price meal benefits in any way whatsoever. These applications are completely private, safe, and secure. At the end of the day, the state just wants to make sure kids get fed.
Now, to keep things moving smoothly, here are some rapid-fire insider tips so your application doesn't get delayed. First up, submit only one way. If you apply online, don't hand in a paper copy too. It might seem helpful, but duplicate applications actually slow down the whole processing time. Second, always report your gross income, not your take-home pay. Third, like I mentioned before, include everyone living with you to make sure your household size is completely accurate. And finally, if your situation changes later in the year, say you face unexpected unemployment or your family size grows, you can absolutely apply or reapply at any time during the school year.
All right, Part 5. Verification and next steps. What exactly happens after you hit submit?
Let's talk about what happens behind the scenes after you hand in that paperwork. It's really important to understand a term called the verification pool. Basically, by law, school districts are required to conduct a random audit of a small percentage of approved income-based applications. If you happen to be selected, you'll just be asked to provide some actual documentation, like recent pay stubs, to prove the income you reported. If you get a letter asking for this, seriously, don't panic. It is just a routine random audit to maintain program integrity.
Putting it all together, here is what your timeline looks like. First, submission. You hand in the app. Next is processing, where the school's determining official reviews your household size and income against the state guidelines. Then comes notification, which is when you receive a letter telling you if you were approved. And finally, there's that potential verification we just talked about. If your application is randomly pulled for the audit, the school has until November 15th to complete that verification process with you. Finally, Part 6. Additional help and resources, because you need to know exactly where to go for more information. If you get stuck along the way, or if you face any language barriers, please know that help is readily available. The Texas Department of Agriculture runs a fantastic bilingual hotline you can just call 877-TEX-MEAL. That's 877-839-6325 for help in English and Spanish. You can also head over to squaremeals.org to check out state policies and prototype forms. But honestly, your absolute best resources are right there in your local community. Just talk to your school's front office, the school counseling team, or reach out directly to your district's child nutrition department.
Now, before we wrap this up, just keep this quick disclaimer in mind. While we've covered the state and federal standards today, the actual administrative procedures and specific online portals, like using School Cafe versus some other system, those vary by school district. So always verify specific deadlines, links, and details directly with your local school authorities. They have the final say on exactly how they collect these applications.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer. We've covered those amazing new benefits in Texas, exactly who qualifies, how to fill out the form, and how to avoid those pesky common mistakes. So, I want to leave you with this final, really important question. What step will you take today to secure your child's nutrition for the upcoming school year? Whether it's gathering your income documents or just giving your school a quick call to ask about their online portal, take that step right now. You've got this. Thanks so much for joining me.